Okay, this is the sort of second video that I want to show you, or you can watch this one first, about how to make an exploded drawing using Sketchup. Um, Once again, Sketchup is really great for this, and there's a couple of different ways that you can do this, but I'm going to show you this way today. Once again, or if you're watching this for the first time, I'm going to be using the Move tool. I'm going to be making sure that I'm moving along the lines of the axis, so it will be, you'll see dashed lines where it's green, where it's red, and where it's blue. And I'm just going to get straight into it. So first of all, I'm going to move this drawer out. I'm just going to drag it out, and you see that line is green. I'm going to drag that out a fair bit, and that's already kind of solid and together, so I'm just going to leave that as is. Now I'm going to be using the duplicate option again by holding down the Control key when I select specific areas, and just to be a bit more exact with this, I'm actually going to use the selection key beforehand before I move these out. So I'm just going to actually press, I'm going to grab this front face, this facade I'll call it, and just pull it out using the Control key, and this duplicates it. Now you need to draw that out and make sure that that's going on the green line. You can see the green axis there. I'm going to do the same with this. Excuse me. I'm just going to select the side of it, just to kind of tell SketchUp what I want to do. I'm going to move that off on the red line. Great, okay, we're getting there. I'm going to just do the same on the other side. Select, move, control, pull. Easy. I'm going to go to the back of it. Just going to select, move, control, pull out, along the green axis, of course. Now the bottom of this, if I remember correctly, wasn't actually attached, so I'm just going to select this whole thing. Yeah, I made a component of it already when I started this drawing, so I'm actually just going to be a bit lucky with this one, and I'm just going to press straight down. You can see that blue axis just appearing, and that's fine. I pulled it down a little bit further than the other one. Let me just use the roller ball and shift to pan over and center myself a little bit better. I'm going to bring that up a little bit, so I'm going to use the Move tool again and just go up along that axis. Okay, it will tell you it's the blue axis. Now you could leave it like this, and you are showing that you have actually exploded this, but I'd like to actually go a little bit further and into a little bit more detail and actually show the shelving inside, and that's a true exploded view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to selectively erase pieces of this that I don't want, and I'm going to start in that midline, and that's going to get rid of two faces in one go. Watch this. I'm going to go to the back end, do the same thing just on that sort of like intersecting line, the edge. Okay, and I've got rid of that. Okay, there's a little bit of hidden geometry in there by the looks of it, so I'm just going to get rid of those lines, tidy that up a little bit, and that leaves me with the sort of inner carcass. But actually what I want to do is show the solidity of the shelves in between. Also, I notice I've got a bit of a problem here at the bottom because this base doesn't exactly match what's below. So what I'm going to do with this is slightly different, and I think I'll start with that one because that's sort of the hard one. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down. It's going to be blue, and it's I'm just going to press escape to come out of the line tool, go straight down. It's blue, and that's going to automatically close into a profile because I've joined four edges together, or four lines together. Now what I want to do is get rid of those other lines that I don't need. It's starting with this one here. Okay, and that's going to break up the profile and make it into lines. The other side. Use the pan tool again. It's very handy actually, that keyboard shortcut. I just discovered it today. Get rid of that line at the corner, get rid of two lines in one, and that's my last line. Okay, I'm going to explain why I've done this afterwards, but what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to join up these again on the inside. Escape to get rid of the tool each time, but it's still selected, so as soon as you start drawing with it again, it will reselect. Now I could pull everything else, so that I've got more space to work on the inside. You can do that, and you can bring things back together, just so long as you make sure that you're drawing along those axis lines. So I'm just going to, I think what I'll do is I'll just join these up, and then I'm going to start deleting away what I don't need. And then I'll get to the base again. Start with the base and I'll end with the base. So yeah, those are my shelves. maybe you can start to see what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the eraser tool again. Just erase 2 lines in once if I can, just to save me time. Always look for shortcuts in designing if I can. Shortcuts that save me time, not that demonstrate that I'm doing something unskillful. Okay, so let's get rid of these lines. These lines. Okay, I'm not happy with this. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to heal this by using the line tool. Draw across, draw across, and then suddenly the profile closes when SketchUp's happy with that. Right, so I've sort of got this half shelf at the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the push-pull. I'm going to push-pull this all the way back to make that into a nice solid shelf. Now you could actually carry on. Oh, looks like we've lost the base of this. So this is going to be a little bit tricky. But what I can do is I can actually heal that by drawing a line to the end. And that should hopefully heal it. Press escape. Yep, that's healed up. Nice. Okay, so I could add some additional things, like say for example, I've lost the top now. Yeah, that's fine. Additional things like small brackets or hinges inside to show fixtures. So you could add those as well. So for example, you could zoom in on this point here. Or this point here, because there's a drawer underneath that, so I'd be worried about that. You could, for example, draw on the edge, find that center point, because that's now solid, and draw a circle on there to show that there's a screw hole or a dowel hole. I'll just bring up the shapes, circle. So we could make that maybe 3 millimeters. Switch on that. Yeah, good. Because that's the size of a normal screw. It's about 3 mil diameter. It could be 3 mil radius that I put in, I'm not too sure. You could also put in, for example, you could use the square tool, and you could go underneath one of the shelves. I'll go to this one. Hopefully this works. And you could draw out a little hinge, a little bracket I should say. I'm going to push pull this down. That shows a little sort of, and you can see how that's then going to connect either to the face or to the side. That should probably be drawn off at a bit of an angle. So what you'd want to do actually is draw that down. So that would be hidden behind the face. And then you can push pull what you don't want away. Okay, for example, that could be attached on like that. Okay, I hope you found that helpful. Obviously it's a good idea as well with all of your drawings to put some measurements on if you can. But really this is just to show you and to show anybody who's trying to figure out how this all fits together and what's actually underneath the skin or the exterior of your product, how it's actually going to look when you take it all apart. This is very handy for instruction manuals, for a form of showing what goes into the cutting list, and also sort of very good sort of visualization technique for your folder. Okay, I hope you've found that helpful, and yeah, I hope you have fun.